This is a 16 News Now update.
Welcome to this 16 Morning News Now update. I'm Tricia Sloma.
And I'm Christine Karsten. Here are the top headlines we're following for you this morning.
We begin with new details on a semi that crashed into the Texas Roadhouse in Warsaw.
Yeah, here's what we know so far. According to reporting partners at the Warsaw Times-Union, the crash happened yesterday just before 3 p.m. at the Texas Roadhouse right here on West 300 North, just off of State Road 15.
Police believe the semi driver suffered a medical episode before driving off the road and crashing into the restaurant. Fortunately, no one inside the restaurant was hurt. We don't know if the semi driver's condition, how serious it is as of yet. NIPSCO's hazardous material team was called to the scene because there was an electrical box that was leaking transformer oil after it was hit by the semi. We have new video to share this morning out of Fort Wayne. It captures the unsettling moments when a woman was pulled from a vehicle, thrown to the ground, and punched by a police officer before being handcuffed and arrested.
That is my little sister that y'all did that to. That is crazy.
Court documents indicate the woman had a warrant out for her arrest stemming from a misdemeanor traffic case. The documents indicate two officers began giving verbal commands for her to get out of the car. Officers say she was uncooperative, and that's when they pulled her out. An officer says she used her body weight to lift him off the ground. The officer said they were eventually able to detain her, quote, using several tactics. However, the officers did not mention anyone punching the woman.
Meanwhile, the first of 5 people charged with criminal election finance fraud has been sentenced. This is related to that 2022 Goshen School Board elections. According to reporting partners at the Goshen News, Jose Elizalde was sentenced to a weekend of community service. Now, he initially got a 1-year jail sentence, but it was suspended on reporting probation. That probation is to be terminated after 1 weekend of a community-oriented program. Elizalde is one of 5 people who were charged earlier this year after failing to disclose names of donors who contributed to a 2022 fundraiser.
Well, the future of the former Rabbi Shulman and Monroe Circle site in South Bend was the focus of a community discussion. The Rabbi Shulman and Monroe Circle was once home to 2 public housing projects. The meeting took place last night at the Salvation Army Kroc Center. Plans for the redevelopment of this site, located on Western Avenue between Scott and Taylor Streets, will be included in the city's downtown plan. Initial concepts for the site includes new affordable housing and community spaces. Andrew?
Looking at our school planner for today as we have additional classrooms headed back to school, including Warsaw. We've got the morning quite mild into the 60s, but for the afternoon, a northwest wind that'll keep our temperatures in check for today. In fact, nearly 10 degrees below where we should be this time of year, which is typically around 82 degrees. We're headed for around 73, 74 degrees for the afternoon for most of Michiana. And again, we are going to fight this wind for today. Some gusts at times, 20 miles per hour. We'll go ahead and call it a swing and ding day. Watch the car doors. Make sure they don't get too far away from you near those car racks for today. For the weekend ahead, most of us stay dry, but there are a chance of maybe a sprinkle or a brief light shower tonight as we see additional clouds coming back into play. We're going to take a closer look at that in my first alert weather forecast with Future Track. If you're looking for the 80s to return, that'll head our way early next week. And then some more upper 80s could be headed our way as we start to climb on into next weekend and beyond that. We'll take a look at that 16-day forecast here in just a minute.
All right, Andrew, thank you. New information. The intersection of Lombardy and Washington in South Bend has a new name, all in honor of a very special man, the late Curtis Walton. Walton was a beloved figure in the South Bend community. He served in the South Bend Police Department for 25 years, retiring as a lieutenant in 1999. He continued to serve in the community, working at IU South Bend in the County City building after retirement. He was a so-called Lakeside legend. Hey, it's Friday, so many of us are ready to end the week, but some school districts are saying, hey, let's get started, folks. It's the first day of class for Central Noble School Corporation, Tippecanoe Valley School Corporation, Whitco Community School Corporation,
and of course Warsaw. In fact, we have a special message for you kids this morning, thanks to your superintendent.
Hi, good morning. This is Dr. Hofford, superintendent from Warsaw Community Schools. We want to wish all Michiana schools a safe and great 2024-2025 school year as they head back to school.
The time is finally here, and you can share your own back-to-school photos with us. And if you're lucky, you're going to get a special shout-out on air. Just scan this QR code, or you can simply head to our website, WNDU.com/share.
All right, happening today, Benton Harbor High School. Well, they're getting new AED machines to help save lives. State Representative Joey Andrews will deliver AEDs, or automated external defibrillators. A Michigan law ensures schools maintain AEDs and make them accessible within 1 to 3 minutes during a cardiac emergency. Andrews will be at the school at 10 this morning. Andrew?
This weekend is for those that are not a fan of the high heat and high humidity. Very comfortable, very refreshing for this weekend. Go ahead and shut off the air conditioner, open up the windows, leave them open for this afternoon all the way through Sunday night. But we are going to fight some wind gusts for today, around 20 miles per hour. That's the reason for a little bit lower notch there to today's comfort index. And as we head into the weekend's comfort index, we'll lower Saturday down to an 8 out of 10 due to a mix of sun and clouds throughout the day and some gustier winds that could gust up into the mid to upper 20s. And we'll start to relax the wind a little bit more for Sunday, but you'll start to notice a wind out of the north and west gusting at time into the lower 20s. And we'll start to warm up our temperatures back again by Sunday, back up to some mid to upper 70s. And with all this wind around for this weekend, red flags, high rip current risk up at Lake Michigan Friday and Saturday especially. Stay out of the water, stay off of the piers this weekend as well in St. Joe and Michigan City. I think our best beach day this weekend would likely come on Sunday, but still use caution as we're still going to have some wave heights out there around 2 to 4 feet. Hour by hour with First Alert Weather Future Track, we're going to stay quiet for today's weather outside of some gusty northwest wind. And then for tonight, as we start to increase some cloud cover as early as 6, 7, 8 o'clock, can't rule out a stray sprinkle or very light, brief light shower for 1 or 2 areas overnight. Otherwise, we stay dry and quiet over the next several days here across Michiana. And hey, we have one of the best meteor showers of the year that's going to peak this weekend as well and early next week. Look up into the northeast sky and make sure to get out mainly out of the city light, mainly on the edge of town, open country. Unlike last year, though, where we had no moonlight, we are going to have the moonlight around at the moon nearly 40 to 50%. We're looking at our cloud cover during the overnight time frame, and notice once we head into Sunday morning, Monday morning, and Tuesday morning, outside of a few clouds around, looks like a great overnight skies expected over the next several days. Speaking on the next several days, 10-day forecast, lower 80s return early next week, and then we start to climb up back into the mid 80s with maybe our next chance to shower sometime next weekend.
All right, Andrew, thank you. Hey, developing now, the city of South Bend is wasting no time preparing to demolish a donated building. The city closed on the ownership of the former YMCA on Northside Boulevard just last Thursday. The Redevelopment Commission just agreed to fund the $1.2 million demolition of the old Y after being told damage done by vandals made the building unsafe.
We would hope that this is a shovel-ready site in spring of 2025. Before that time, we would seek an RFP, a request for proposals, seeking redevelopment proposals for the site. We're going to be willing to consider a number of potential uses, but we want to ensure that it does align with the fabric of the neighborhood to the east, and so likely looking at some lower density residential development.
Now, the city's goal is to demolish the building and reseed the lot by the end of this year.
Hey, new details. The History Museum in South Bend hosts a dedication ceremony for a new state historical marker. J.D. Oliver and his home, Kapshahalem, were honored on Thursday. Oliver was one of the biggest businessmen in the world in the 1800s. The Oliver family, well, they were vital to South Bend's early infrastructure and economic growth. They funded an opera house, hotel, playground, and other public improvements. This is the 6th state historical marker to be installed in St. Joseph County in the last 8 years.
New reporting about a major traffic alert coming to what some are calling a dangerous intersection in Cass County.
Yeah, here's what we're talking about. The intersection of Daly Road and Pokagon Highway. 2 Cass County residents are taking their own precautionary measures to make sure crashes don't end up on their front lawn again.
This is Daly and Pokagon Highway, Daly Road and Pokagon Highway intersection. Over the years, we've seen accidents on all 4 sides of the corner.
Yeah, in May, a 2-car collision knocked down their power line, resulting in a fiery scene that burned a patch of their lawn. But this is nothing new for these guys. They said that just a few years ago, a Transpo bus crashed into another building on their property.
I only mow there certain times of the day when hopefully the traffic is a little less, but it's still scary. And they've moved those rocks. We put those rocks there when we remodeled the house so that they would not come into the yard or, into the house, because we've had them come into the yard before.
How scary. This dangerous intersection caught the attention of the Cass County Road Commission, resulting in some expected changes that are soon to come.
Yeah, thank goodness. So starting Tuesday, this intersection will officially be turned into a four-way stop featuring LED stop signs and stop ahead warnings. Officials hope this will help curb the number of crashes seen at this intersection.
George and Melissa will be back with another news and first alert weather update later on this evening.
Yeah, you can catch that tonight at 4:30 online at WNDU.com. And make sure to stay tuned for 16 News Now at 6 on Channel 16.